And I'm more than honored to be with you today on the sixth webinar within the Women's Lab series, but the first one conducted in English. That's because the Women's Lab webinars connect with the Girls to Science program, the program organized by Perspective Educational Foundation, and I'm more than honored to be the ambassador of the Girls to Science program, representing Warsaw University of Life Science. And today we're going to have a really special guest with us, Mrs. Paola del Zotto Ferrari, who is the founder and director of Accademia di Galiato, which includes also Nano Piccola event, director of STEM for Suit, member of Angels for Women. And today's webinar title is Empowering Women in STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, Pathways to Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And I would like at the beginning to tell that the meeting is recorded and we will have two parts of this meeting. In the first part of the meeting, Paola will share with us her experience as a social entrepreneur with more than 30 years experience leading non-profit organization of frontier science and technology. And she will tell us how she combines her scientific career and her business career with her private life, and how she became a woman leader, because she was also awarded a Woman of Impact in 2017. And at the end of the meeting, she will also tell you how to push your career, the women career in STEM. But for men, I believe there also be some advices. So don't worry, as we can also see some men on our webinar today. And in the second part, there will be a question and answer part. And you could ask Paola any question you wish, either by raising your hand, or you can write me on chat, and then we will read the question to Paola, and she will answer it. And I strongly encourage you to stay with us till the end of this meeting, because at the end of the first part, we'll be also speaking about the unique event that will be for the first time organized in Poland at the Warsaw University of Life Sciences due to the collaboration of Paola Nanogaliato with the Laboratory of Experimental and Clinical Nano-Oncology. So please stay with us, because this event will be this year, event dedicated for children, even about the STEM, during the Science Day, Warsaw Science Day, organized at the Warsaw University of Life Sciences. So first of all, maybe I will before I say a few words about the Women's Lab webinars and the Girls to Science program, maybe I welcome all of you one more time, because still some people are entering as far as I can see. But also, I would like to warmly welcome Paola. Good morning, Paola, because as far as I know, it's 6 a.m. Yeah, that's why we say good morning here in California.
I'm in San Diego actually, and it's life is about to stir in the streets out here. But I know that this was a worthy reason to get up this early. I'm really honored and truly looking forward to our conversation today, which I hope would be a conversation more than a monologue.
Yes, I also hope it will be a conversation, and I'm more than sure that will be full of inspiration to everyone who is today with us. Just before we start, if you agree, I will say a few words about the Women's Lab and then about Girls to Science program. Okay, so the Women's Lab is the initiative through which women of science and business will be able to share their professional, scientific, and business experience as well as good practices. And this is a series of webinars intended to create a space for the exchange of knowledge, encourage women to build interdisciplinary research teams, and activate the mobility of female scientists in Poland and abroad. Similar aims to the Women's Lab has the Girls to Science program organized by Perspective Educational Foundation, which is created to support scientists at every stage of their scientific career, promote diversity and gender equality in science, as well as positive image of women scientists in the media. So one more time, I would like to welcome our exceptional speaker today, Paola del Zotto Ferrari, corporate sustainability advisor and social entrepreneur with more than 30 years experience in leading non-profit organizations in the field of frontier science and technology, women internship, and community regeneration. And I've already told you, she's also a founder and president of Accademia di Galiato Globale, the organization that's supporting STEM professionals who return later to their home communities as role models and as ambassadors for STEM, organizing scientific conferences and youth STEM education festivals, creative, innovative projects, and giving networking opportunities. And Paola is also has been recently appointed the director of the Girls in Science for SDGs International Platform and of the Royal Academy of Science International Trust. So great. We are really honored that you are today with us. I'm really very happy that you found some time to be here and to empower our female scientists and men scientists or entrepreneurs who are today with us.
Wow, that was an incredible introduction. Thank you so much, Professor Katarzyna. If okay with you, I will call you Katarzyna. After all, I'm here in America now, and you know, informality is key. Yes, well, thank you to all of you. I know that you know, just carving 1 hour out of your very busy schedule is certainly a challenge, and I appreciate your willingness to gather today for this, you know, which I hope will be an interesting hour together. Again, I'm in San Diego now, California. This is I'm here with my husband, who is a renowned professor, and he is the reason why I got to know Professor Katarzyna many years ago. He is a pioneer in the field of nanotechnology applied to cancer research. So we're here in San Diego because there's the Bio International Convention, which gathers researchers and people in venture capital firms and all the business and the research world around bio. Now, where can I start to tell my funny journey? First of all, from what you heard also from Katarzyna, there's a collection of many things. It's not just one thing that I you know, chose and develop. So this is something that you know, it's pretty apparent in my resume. For one thing, I have to tell you that well, my country of origin is Italy. I was a girl, as I often say that was afraid of mathematics. So though I was doing pretty well in you know, in all my subjects, and I would have nice grades, mathematics for some reason was really hard to me. I think the way it was taught to me too. So I pretended that I understood what I was learning, and at the same time I was lumping up mathematics with science and technology. So since mathematics was hard, and since to me mathematics equated with science and technology, from the beginning I thought that I was not a girl a girl that would have pursued any STEM career. That was sure for me. So I went into, I got my university degree in contemporary history, and then I went on with a scholarship to the United States. My dream was to work at the United Nations. My family was of very modest means, so I gathered a few resources. One of them was the Fulbright scholarship. And with that, I attended Columbia University, got my degree in international affairs. And yes, I landed a job at the United Nations. Then I met my husband, and and he was a recent widower. He had lost his first wife at the age of 32 to cancer. They had 3 small children. We got married. I adopted the children. So, and we had the twins again. So in the span of 12 months, I became a mother of 5 children, which was pretty, impactful in terms of my career trajectory. I know this is the first lesson that I learned, and I want to share. So many times in life, along your career path too, you encounter big events. And one choice might be to kind of fold in and say, well, the career that I felt a vocation for, it's gone. Let's spend the rest of my life regretting, some opportunity that I could not bear to fruit. Or the other choice might be, well, let's look at what my husband is doing. He was doing phenomenal research, breakthrough discoveries, and it was really at the cusp of an incredible new field, which is again nanotechnology applied to cancer research. So I took an interest in what I was seeing and witnessing, like science history in the making. And I said, well, why don't I become an ambassador, of what he does? And the concern that I always had for disadvantaged, especially children, brought me to think that there was an opportunity to bring frontier science and passion for STEM to the children in a disadvantaged setting. So serendipitously, we found ourselves in Calabria, which is the poorest region of Italy and possibly of Europe. There, Mauro was called to start a biomedical engineering department at the local university. I fell in love with Calabria, with the people, and we settled in this very tiny village in the hills overlooking the Ionian Sea. 400 people live there. A third of the people are young people, but then the community was declining, was basically dying. Everybody was leaving. There were no jobs. And I said to Mauro, well, this place is so beautiful. Why don't we invite your friend scientists here for a symposium, for a conference where you can have incredible quality of life. The food is excellent. There's the sea and a welcoming community. Maybe you can have your scientific talks here. Let's see what happens. This was 2008. And we had 7 people coming from all over the world, just 7, but they came from, even one came from Japan. They brought their wives or their kids. So it was established a small international community that took root in the village. They lived in the homes of the villagers. They spent a week there. We had a beautiful evening in the public square with all the scientists presented their research and shared what was going on. The kids were participated in academia, meaning a little event where with the science workshop, and they learn about the scientists. We even had trading cards that like baseball cards with stories of all scientists. So this is how Nano Gagliato happens, and this was very transformative. Was an opportunity for the village to turn around. Now we have the event has been going on for 16 years, and Nano Piccola, in its model, role modeling. We have the scientists that present their science and their stories to the children, and they present their science, and the kids really get passionate about it. So this model then we reproduced and replicated in many other places around the world. Nano Malutka is the last edition. We are so honored. I'm not going to anticipate anything about it, but this is something that we've been spreading around the world. And Katarzyna, you interrupt me anytime if I just go off track. Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but
yes.
To sum up what you said, you graduated from Columbia University, School of International and Public Affairs, if I'm right, with the specialization in economic and political development. And then you moved into STEM. And if I understood correctly, the main reason you moved is a family reason. And you were strongly influenced by your husband. It was the strongest influence. Am I right or not?
It was the only influence, if I have to be very honest. And again, there are some opportunities that life throws at you that you may not even welcome in the beginning. Again, I thought that mathematics and STEMs and everything that had to do with science was not for me. I was completely, in the humanities. I thought that I was going to change the world through impact work done in all fields, all subjects, but certainly not STEM. Then I saw what my husband was doing. And instead of, again, being resentful of something that was so different from my previous journey, I started, paying attention. So paying attention, being open, and I completely pivoted. That's a word that I like very much. Sometimes rather than the kind of fleeing away from something that you don't like or that doesn't look familiar, you just pivot and you find your way ahead, and by embracing also what was very new to me. And Katarzyna, you would not believe this, and I don't think I shared it with you, but my interest for STEM has become such, as I was also, working with with the children and with the scientists, that now that space is my real, passion. In terms of technologies, I signed up for an online course on materials and structures for aerospace. And I have to tell you, I'm doing pretty well. So I could have had probably a career in material sciences or in mechanical engineering. And just because of the way math was taught to me was really not encouraging or supportive of a kid. I was pretty bright, but again, I think I got, to me, math was not a field I should pursue just because I was afraid of it. And I think in part, if not all part, is due to a educational system that was not kind of fit to make people like me interested in mathematics.
So I think that we can say or sum up it to the audience that you never know what exactly you will be doing further, what opportunities you may have in your life, and maybe you should be open, to every opportunity that's coming and probably try it. And don't be afraid of using the opportunities or taking advantage from them. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Is it one of the things you would like to say?
Absolutely. One other mantra that I go by is go with the flow. And sometimes you not to talk any new age talk, but sometimes the universe brings to you some challenges, and rather than resisting them or fighting them, just go with the challenge and then go with the flow. There's so much that you can discover, and always remind yourself that because of where we were born, this is the luckiest, the most privileged part of the world. We still belong to the 1% of the world population in terms of opportunities. So really consider and be grateful for the fact that we live where again we have many options, where we can have a lot of agency in what we can do with our lives. So always again start from a place of gratitude, and engage any opportunities that life throws at you in a positive way. Always have a positive framework for whatever happens to you. Yes, and in fact, we believe in this so much that, again, another important thing that motivated our initiative in Calabria is that talent is universal. For example, the opportunity is not. And, there are so many children all over the world, especially in places that are far away from us, where again, though talent is certainly present, they will not be able to develop into the possible, Einsteins of the future, just because they did not have and they don't have opportunities. So this is the mission we've been on, to try and take opportunities to children all over.
That's great. That's impressive. I know quite a lot about it, so I think we'll speak about it a little bit too. But do you think that there are any individual character traits that are better to have, that you should have, that will be easier for you to do so, or it doesn't matter at all?
The individual trait, to what? To pursue STEM, or to
be successful in STEM as you, because I didn't say probably, but you're also one of 55 women mentioned the book from 2022, and I should say it, women community leaders and their impact as global change makers. Be honest, not everyone could be there and could make such big changes to the world as you do and your husband. So tell us, do we need to have any special character traits to do so, despite opportunities?
Well, I think that as I truly believe in that the most important trait that we should carry through our life is again this sense of gratitude, and humility and solidarity. So these three things, these are three of my favorite words. You again, every morning when you wake up, you should really feel like, oh my gosh, I'm living in a part of the world where I don't have to, go in a shelter because there's a war, or where I have food on the table. So first of all, this sense of gratitude and of opportunity to do something good with your life. A sense of humility. I mean, don't believe your hype. And, I'm such a little ant in the large scheme of things. And my being part of this book depends on many things, but certainly I don't believe that I'm such an impactful person. I see people around me, people that I met, people that I read in the news, whose impact is extremely greater. So again, I always carry with me also this sense of humility. I'm just contributing to a larger crowd of people that believe in a better world. And then a sense of solidarity because again, always look at who's next to you, and serving other people that are less fortunate that you is in itself an incredibly great reward. And it's what motivates me, motivates my husband too. That's the contribution that gives us the most joy and purpose. So finding ways to help others is, I would say, the greatest mission in life, the one that never gets old. There are other pursuits in life that after a while you might find they don't give you much anything or joy. Serving others and helping others, that will never get old. And a life lived with this purpose, I think it's a happy life.
Thank you so much for saying it. I'm a part of it. I know it. My mentor is Professor Mauro Ferrari, and I'm very grateful for it. It's the best mentor I could have in my life. And that's why we met also and could do Nano Malutka together and could make me a part of the Nano Galiato Global event. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity, but despite me as a one person, you help a lot of women and not only women. Could you a little bit tell us more about different actions you do
Yeah.
to help women in STEM and men in STEM too, and the general to popularize science? Maybe at first with the STEM, because you do a lot.
Yeah, no. So my interest in women in particular started when I got to know the Sustainable Development Goals. For the people that are following us that don't know what they are a set of 17 big goals that the United Nations, meaning more than almost 200 countries in the world, agreed upon as a compass, as a direction for for where the world should be. And they, of course, include end poverty, provide quality education to all, provide healthcare to all. So I encourage you to go on the United Nations website and look for SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So this is basically this scenario that the world, or the objectives, the goals that the world has set for himself. And I feel like I'm part of this movement to try and make steps and progress toward achieving them. So we have a better world for everyone, for my kids and for their children. So when I look at how the world is now, I think that one of the big problems why the progress toward the Sustainable Development Goals is so slow is that the 50% of the world population, meaning the women, don't have enough of a voice or enough of a power to count and to lead in ways that might be a little bit different from the past, because the past, after all, brought us to a lot of the problems we have now. So we need a fresh perspective. And I think that women don't have enough of a role in this movement. And why is it so? For many reasons. One of them is that because the women don't have a share of, they don't manage enough the global resources of the global resources on the world. Only 1/10 is owned or managed by women. 90% of the global wealth, meaning, global wealth is owned or managed by men. And the use that men make of 90% of the global resources doesn't go sometimes, most of the time, in the right direction. So my idea, and the idea shared with many other women, is that if more women share more of the global resource decisions and the tables where decisions are made can produce different outcomes. How do we get more women to own or manage global resources? We think that we need more women in careers that are in the high growth sectors. So all the high growth sectors are in STEM, and this is where we need to have more women as practitioners, as entrepreneurs. Not only that, STEM is also not only the place where wealth and growth, economic growth is produced. STEM is also the place where solutions to the problems of the world are created, designed, and developed. And we need more women that design, that create, and that develop solutions for our world. So, for the years that I have ahead of me, of work and passion, this has become my mission to work along this pipeline of girls that become passionate in STEM, and to help them become the entrepreneurs of high growth and tech frontier sectors. We start in a very dismal position, especially in Italy, for example, that's the place where I dedicate a lot of my efforts. In Italy, only only 1 out of 3 students in secondary school that take STEM classes is a girl. The problem is that girls also are the most unemployed in Italy. Why? Because they go into career paths where there are no jobs. All the jobs today are in STEM, and so women are missing out a lot. So with these programs, with the science workshops and all that we are doing to encourage and to inspire more girls into STEM careers, we're trying to develop a new class of a generation of girls that can enter these careers. And then as an angel investor in a network of women investors in Italy, we're trying to support and provide the early stage resources that young startuppers, women need to take their businesses to a successful career, to a successful outcome. So this is basically what again, my mission is now, working, upstream and downstream of this pipeline of girls in STEM to make them the next Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. There's no reason why we don't have one girl in that position, and I know she will be also personally perhaps a better person, and able to make decisions that are affecting in positive ways all of us.
Do you think the programs like the one that I'm the ambassador, Girls to Science, you for sure think it's important, but much more programs like it. Has they already changed something during these 30 years of your experience? Is it getting better? It's not perfect yet, but is it getting better and better? How you think it will be in the next few years within the women career in STEM?
Well, I think that progress has been made. However, and then this is something that is a little baffling, Katarzyna. There's something that's called, I think, the Norwegian paradox. If you go to developed countries like Italy, for example, or Norway, people have, some researchers have looked at what happens in Northern Europe now. Women, these are places where there's quite equality between men and women, but still in these countries, you still have women not going so much into STEM. Okay, they choose careers in. And apologies, there's a noise in the back. Hopefully, it doesn't bother the communication. So the jobs are in STEM, but girls tend to go to other fields of their choice, of their preference, areas of interest that they like better. What happens in other countries, like the least developed countries, that's where you have more women going into STEM. And what's the reason? The women and the girls in least developed countries, they know that STEM is their way out of poverty, because they see the connection between, empowering themselves with financially through, they know where the jobs are, so they go into those careers. Whereas us in the developed world sometimes have a tendency of, picking a subject that we like. And so I think that there's still a lot of way to do to inspire girls onto the STEM careers, showing them how fantastically interesting too it can be. For example, I think that now one of the big sectors that are coming up and it's absolutely fascinating is space. You have so many jobs now there. The space economy is one that will be as large as $1.8 trillion about in 2040. And we go to space to benefit life on Earth. So everything that we are doing in the low Earth orbit, or it's something that brings a better life here, better communications, better infrastructure, better agriculture, and all those things. So there is so much in STEM that I think a girl could find interesting and fascinating, that I still think needs to be advertised and disseminated. An initiative like the ones that you do, Katarzyna, and in so many universities are done to encourage more women in STEM are absolutely fundamental. I saw that you are one of the speakers, the Women in Tech Summit, which is an extremely important and extremely distinguished place for this. So thank you so much for and congratulations for being picked as a speaker to this event. But I think that we still have a long way to go to have more women in STEM, and all we do, it's truly important and truly needed.
And you help women in STEM at different stages of their career, from the very beginning to the place where they are much, much more far away. But if I'm right, you believe that we should start it from the early years of life, that we should start saying to very young girls that science, technology, engineering is for them. And one of this initiative, it's Nano Piccola, a part of Nano Galiato Globala. Could you tell us a little bit more about this event, this STEM event that takes place in Galiato? I was happy to be there. I was happy to see it. So I know how great it is. However, if I remember, you told me that at the beginning when you came there, you loved this place, but not everyone thought the same about Galiato at the time point. Yeah, you believed it was wonderful and it is wonderful place. But if I could remember, there were also opposite voices about this small, really nice village.
Yes, this has been, I think, the most important thing that I've ever helped create in my life, because of the effects that I still see reverberating through a generation of children that grew up in this experience. So this is a truly small village with 400 people, and the children that live there are few, but they. The school, just imagine that in their class they have all grades, so one classroom for all grades from first to fifth grade. So the educational system was not particularly of great quality. When we brought our international scientists and a group of young volunteers, researchers like the ones that might be participating to this webinar now, we gathered kids that were 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, and we did experiments with them. We'd have role modeling, and the researcher told them about what they're doing. The scientists as well. Those kids really saw their horizons and their imagination open up and take flight. So much so that a lot of the children that grew up in Nano Piccola, that were 4 or 5 then, now they are in the university, and they would have never ever gone to college were it not for the experience with Nano Piccola. So we're extremely grateful, and they are incredibly, feel very, very fortunate that they had this opportunity. As Katarzyna, yes, you're right. Also Mauro, when he saw me, bring up the idea of let's have your scientist friends come here for a conference and to mingle with this very poor village. He said, Paola, are you sure you think we can pull this off? Truth be told, everyone that has come to Galiato and has gone through this experience through felt blessed in so many ways. Not only it's a beautiful place, and life is brought to its very basic meaning, and then interacting with the children is incredibly wonderful, and the impact has been long lasting. So the kids that were 4 and 5 in 2008 now are the children that have gone to the university, and now are the volunteers that teach forward to their, to younger kids what they've learned, and especially transmit their passion in STEM. So this is why we think that when you want to enlarge the number of girls in particular that go into STEM, into science, you really need to again, to transmit, first of all, the passion, and inspire them with your own also personal journey. You cannot be what you cannot see. This is something that we've been saying a lot. So for these children to see other, young researchers pursuing STEM gives them a role model, something to look up to, and to, to aspire to, and to work toward. So role modeling, and again, showing the way by your own, again, journey. It's very, very important.
That's amazing. You help not only children, but also Galiato as the society, as a village there, I think. And you have the Nano Piccola event, and maybe we can at least a few words say about the first event that will be in Poland this year at the Warsaw University of Life Sciences during the Warsaw Science Day at the 28th of September, because this is the event, STEM event, that's created. It's the first event in Poland as a branch of Nano Piccola. And we will give the opportunity for children from Warsaw or close to Warsaw here, but also the opportunity for scientists or young people, students, PhD students who would like to start their career in STEM, who would like to do the first step in STEM, because you can join us, you can be a volunteer, you can help us organize it. That's how it works in Galiato, am I right?
Absolutely, and I absolutely assure you that what you take when you leave this event, in terms of satisfaction and emotional reward and sense of accomplishment is really big. There's nothing like leaving a positive impact on a child, and this children, it might be just by one experience that the life of a child can be completely transformed. This is what we saw happening in Galiato. This is what we see happening in so many other places where Nano Piccola is replicated. I was in Mexico just last month, and we have this science kit that I hope also Nano Malutka might have as one of the resources for these workshops. And the kids are in a hut on a dirt floor, and just to see their faces and see how they interact with the science kit is just thrilling, and incredibly heartwarming to see how passionate they can become by learning circuits, by switching energy on and off, by learning how robotics work. And again, these are kids in a very poor village in a remote part of the Mayan territory, under a hut and on a dirt floor. And again, what happens is that of science and technology, there's no way back. So we really want to be the spark that light a lot of this kind of fires all around the world.
Yes, I'm more than sure. I believe strongly that Nano Malutka will be a great experience for children. This is the STEM
thank
event.
You so much.
No,
thank you so much for taking the torch and bringing it to the Warsaw University. This is absolutely amazing. We're truly, truly grateful for what you're doing, and we hope that you'll have many volunteers. But I promise you, participating to an Nano Malutka leaves an incredibly lasting impression and impact. So I truly encourage all the researchers online now to look up at this opportunity and join forces with Professor Zabielska.
I have to tell that we are grateful as the Warsaw University of Life Sciences, and especially my laboratory of experimental and clinical nano-oncology, for giving us a chance to be a part of this great global event, to be a part of a STEM event for children, and to start doing it here, because I'm sure it will have a huge impact of the children's lives. And I think that's the beginning of science, of STEM, where we should, even we are the university, start from. And I'm very also grateful for all the authorities who support this event and want us to make it come true. That's really great opportunity for children, but as you've already taught, also for all scientists, students, PhD students, young people listening to us now, even from different fields, you can be a part of it. You can empower your career or start your career in STEM by joining us, by being a volunteer, by taking part in it. And I'm more than sure that it will be great. We're also grateful for you that we can make it a unique event, because in Warsaw, despite the field of nanotechnology, despite of learning what are liposomes, ethosomes, how to extract DNA, we will also have a part of veterinary medicine. And that's extremely important for me, as I'm a veterinary doctor working at the Institute of Veterinary Medicine. And I'm more than happy that we could also learn children how to give the first aid to animals, how to bandage the animal. And I think it will be unique, because we'll combine nanotechnology with veterinary medicine. And I'm really grateful, and I highly appreciate the possibility of doing it here at the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, Warsaw University of Life Sciences. And I really encourage everyone listening to us who would like to be a part of this event to contact me later. You can see or you can find my mail, university mail, easily with Katarzyna Zabielska, SGGW EDUPL. And I'm really happy to welcome everyone who would like to be a part of this great event. Also, Perspective Educational Foundation with Girls to Science program are very happy that we're organizing it too, as well as other authorities at the university. But we talk a lot.
If I may add something less, very quick, and then I hopefully will open up the question part. What is important with all these events is also to create a sort of fun base to science and research, right? So all these kids that are involved, their families that participate, you're really disseminating a sort of, again, support also in the public for the incredible work that you researchers in your labs are doing to, discover new drugs and to help the world progress. And for the volunteers, the young researchers that will be attending this event with the children, you might find yourself in the status of a rock star. I mean, this doesn't happen too often to you, right? But Katarzyna, maybe you may share with them what happened to you when we were in Gagliato. You really were a rock star, right? So it's again, the benefits go two ways. Certainly you're benefiting the children, but as Katarzyna said, there's a lot that you will take also home in terms of support and encouragement for your what you do, which is absolutely essential to the world. So thank you for all the people, and please look up at the website. The website is www.academiadigagliato.org, and there's a page dedicated to Nano Malutka there too. Maybe you can share in the chat, Katarzyna, the link so people can see the event advertised there, along with all information about what Nano Gagliato is and has been through the years.
Yes, I will share a link in a minute. Just maybe that's perfect about the STEM event, but maybe one or two more sentences for women will also speak how you combine your private life with so many things you do professionally. So what about work-life balance in your life? I would really like to listen to it and to learn from
Oh,
it, please.
I'll try and be very short because again, I'd like to hear if there are any questions. First of
Yes.
all, I've been so privileged to to do something that I really like and not having the responsibility of bringing bread on the table, in a sort of division of labor. My husband was, I took care of the 5 kids, and then the household. So I really could pursue whatever I wanted, and I devoted myself to this volunteering career that then became also a profession. But in any case, it was a privilege for me to pursue as a career my true passion. So there's no loss of continuity between work and private life. They're just one thing, and I breathe the things I do. There's no Sunday or Saturday or night or day. The projects I'm involved in, I really give myself to them as they were my hobby, but something, a true passion. And how do I balance some moments of stress when the projects get a little bit, overwhelming sometimes in their ambition, and there's a lot to do, and I need to travel and things like that. Again, I have I don't know if I can share this with your audience, but I'm a very I'm a little bit of a Jesus freak, so I have my faith that anchors me, and I pray a lot. I meditate, and this is certainly an important aspect of my life. Again, that's where I derive a sense of gratitude and hope. So my faith, I would say, is what basically helped me balance life and everything else, and it's the most important thing.
Okay, thank you, Paola, for also saying about this work-life balance, because it's important, I think, for lots of us. I put the link for Accademia di Galiato, where today started the promotion of Nano Malutka event at the Warsaw University of Life Sciences. Soon also information in Polish will be available at the website of my laboratory, which is being prepared, but I hope it will be ready within a week or two. But there will be cross links with Accademia di Galiato. So if you now look there, soon you will find also the link to my laboratory website for sure, or you can find it at the university website. Other way. But maybe you're right. That was the first part that I really would like to thank you for sharing so much experience and saying so many advices to everyone who listened to us. I really feel empowered, and I believe lots of our audience are really grateful for your talk. Next webinars within the Women's Lab and listen, and I would like to welcome you.
Thank you. What you do is absolutely extraordinary. Thanks to the Warsaw University of Life Sciences. Thank you to your department, the Women's Lab, and this idea of the webinar. I mean, I see that 52 people joined. To me, it's a huge number. I feel very humbled by all the people that decided to spend an hour of their time just to be with me. And I thank you all very much. I encourage you to follow our social media. And again, get inspired and to carry on, what Katarzyna and her colleagues are doing to support more women in STEM.
Thank you one more time, Paola. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
It was
Thank
really
you.
great, and I'm happy that you were with us. Thanks for all the audience to being with us, and see you on the next Women Lab